Hello and welcome to the show. We are here on Forza Horizon 4 today with another team adventure. Going to be going racing with some A-Class German cars. It seems by accident I've managed to put all of the classic machinery on one team and all of the Audis on my team. I have a BMW. No, I have a BMW M3. Now, I would admit, we're going to be running this a different week in different seasons. The M3 was built for when it wasn't having everything covered in snow, and I'm not sure whether this is quite how I would have gone, knowing the car was going to have to deal with snow. However, it is what I have, so I'm hoping it's going to be pretty decent. I know this car was fairly good when it came to the beach rally stage that we did. The M3 was top 3, I think, around there. Certainly it was quite a long way up the leaderboard, which is good. I'm hoping will mean that it's going to work when we come to do this. It's got a wide body kit on it, which does mean we can get some nice wide tyres on it. They're rally tyres. Naturally, in A-Class, you're probably going to want rally or race tyres, and being winter, I didn't want the pain of having to try and drive race tyres in the snow. So yeah, we have gone with a rally-tyred machine, and this will put us up to a second position. Very nice indeed. However, my car is rear-wheel drive. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be terrible by any means. However, it means on the rally stages, at least, while I have the right tyres, I will not have as much traction as some. There will be those that will outstrip me. Now, points-wise, there are 3 blue cars, 3rd, 4th and 5th, but the rest of their cars are struggling. The leader on red team has run a little bit wide. We gave him a little bit of a nudge as well for all that. There's a little bit of lag going on as well that is far from helpful. Oh, here we go. Let's try and keep up the speed with the Beamer. Now, the Auto Union, driven by Ninetales, is one to be concerned about, shall we say. That looks quite quick in places. It's probably one of those cars that'll work wonders on the tarmac, but be all sorts of unhelpful on the dirt. I did spot it before we got going here, and I'm pretty sure it's on rally tyres, although sometimes it's hard to tell. So it might not be too terrible off-road. We'll have to wait and see. Points-wise, things have changed around a bit. I mean, we still have got the lead. We certainly don't want to give up the 1-2. Ninetales is coming to try and ruin a bit of the fun with the 1-2 here. Come on, Beamer, let's get you slowed down for all of that. Yeah, here comes that Auto Union. If that gets to the front, we might only have, like, if that does get past both of us, we might have some difficulty in the points. It looks like it's an absolute dog through the corners. Those kind of cars tend to be a little bit tougher to get round the turns, which is fair enough, really. It's a car from the 30s, I should think. So yeah, that's probably a handful around the corners, but straight line speed. Straight line speed is the aim of the game with one of those. This isn't really a straight line speed circuit, but if you are within range and you get onto this main stretch, well, the Auto Union is going to fly past. Ninetales is indeed behind me. That's it's a nerve-wracking sight. I might, if I have the car to if I have a car to deal with it, this might be the one. My other option for this was the A-Class, very classic Mercedes. I can't remember, is it Mercedes Kurt something or other, but I have like an all-wheel drive engine swapped one of those. It's quite good in A-Class. It runs out of top speed quite quickly because it's got terrible aero and everything, but that was not a bad A-Class car choice. Some ways, weirdly, a little more sensible than the M3, or a more tried and tested method of A-Class racing. I'm certainly not pulling away from that Auto Union. Ninetales is going to have a lap now. Oh, and the points have gone all completely away from us as well. Bugger. I mean, the only thing I can do is try and win the race for us. That is literally all I can do here. Make sure I can win the race for red team. I hope things go our way elsewhere. We can get a little bit of luck. Ninetales is slipping and sliding through turn 1. We're going to have to be as brave as we possibly can be through here, but we cannot afford to make mistakes because the Auto Union is catching. Would have been nice if it had got held up in traffic a little bit longer. Can't do much about that now. I can't really look at all the... I'd like to be able to look at the points, but we don't have the time here. This is a tough section of circuit, and as I said, can't afford to get things wrong here. Run to the line. Am I far enough away? The Auto Union's been catching. It's not Auto Union, sorry. Is it the Mercedes or is it the Auto? I don't actually know what car it's in. What car 90 has. No, it looks like it's the classic Mercedes, in fact. No. Not again. I was a car length ahead of that. Screw you, game. I took victory. Ninetales takes second from Gliska. The game's forgotten how to count. Again, it's another... This is now 3 races we've had in the last 5 or 6 that the game has screwed me out of a finishing position. I know what it does. It's the game gets slightly laggy on the grid and might have hailed Ninetales by a 10th or 2, and then it reapplies it at the end, but don't hold people on the grid. Certainly don't apply it on the end of a race so the car in second's given a first. Well, thanks, Forza. So, race number 2 heads to the Greendale Foothills Scramble. It is definitely rally tyres on the Mercedes, the classic Mercedes. Oh, it's going to be me and Ninetales alongside one another on the grid. Now, there are likely to be lots of all-wheel drive Audis on 19, which could be good. RS7 is a brave choice. They're very heavy, and you don't get much PI to play with in A-Class, so that might... Who knows? Although it is all-wheel drive, of course, which is better than me. I have snow tyres. Actually, going to be good because we are snow tyres elsewhere. The 9... Right, so the 944 looks like that's all-wheel drive, judging by the launch. The Merc is not, because that bogged down as badly as I did, although it carries better speed through turn 1. I was a little cautious there. I wasn't sure what levels of grip we were going to have. Yeah, I mean, this is, of course, the fun with the Team Adventures is we tackle all sorts of surfaces, all sorts of tracks, and you've got to have a car that's good for all of them. Speed Beast's little Porsche might well be all-wheel drive, judging by how fast that's gone up through the field. The Golf, of course, the RP2 Golfs, that will be all-wheel drive. Me and Ninetales are going to be slipping and sliding our way through there with the other rear-wheel drive cars. Oh, there goes a slightly laggy Audi on its way past. We get the power down. We will have better traction than the big Merc. Am I going to be able to be flat through here? Oh, that Audi is struggling for straight line speed. I definitely did not push you that far. I don't actually know where it's gone. Sorry, there was a tiniest of nudges, but certainly not enough to do that. That might have been a slight... Or it might, I don't know. It's gone. It's long gone. However, still 100 points at least for now. It's time to recover. The Porsche is busy fighting with the Volkswagen, I think, over the lead. We are fighting over that 4th spot between me and Ninetales. It's probably going to be a good battle between us for this one. Ninetales will beat me down the straights, but I have the traction and the slow speed cornering. God, that Mercedes is so fast. And this wasn't really built as a full handling car, I should point out as well. This was a little bit of a half and half kind of a build. I knew I needed rally tyres, or I knew I wanted rally tyres, but it was still about 320, 330 horsepower, which is not bad for A-Class. Not if you're going to be putting it on sensible tyres and so on. I mean, it's a very sensible vehicle to begin with, and they are big rally tyres. So yeah, Ninetales can't do this bit of the circuit quite so well as the M3, but unfortunately for me, the finish line isn't around this bit of the circuit. Finish line is at the end of a long straight, so we're probably going to have a similar thing, and probably get beaten in the same bloody way, won't we? And this is where Ninetales might not enjoy the Merc too much. These fast corners, that is probably going to give the Mercedes some pain. Now, I am not flat through there. It's a little bit of a lift, and sure enough, we pull a gap. Will it be enough? Probably not. Yeah, I certainly can't match the cars up ahead in terms of outright pace. The all-wheel drive's just a little too fast for me. Come on, M3. Get going. The Merc is slipping and sliding around. If you want to try and make that work, then go for it. I covered as much as I could, but when the Mercedes is alongside, you have to kind of give the space. We will throw the car back underneath. Oh, not quite. I can draw alongside. I have a feeling this is going to go the way of many an infuriating race, where we can kind of fight back, we can kind of be side by side, but that straight line speed is too much for me to be able to deal with. We've both got very close to missing that checkpoint now. If I can get ahead of Ninetales sooner in the lap, maybe that will work. This is the problem now. I want to be ahead of Ninetales. We don't want to lose time through the corners behind the big Merc, because we can't hold it up down the straights. You know, this is where we need to make our time so that we are far enough ahead when it comes to the latter part of the lap. The Golf continues to lead from the Porsches. My BMW has got the 4th for now. It won't be enough. 6th, sorry, is not too far back either if me and Ninetales ever happen to get into any sort of serious trouble around here, like I'm about to go and do there. That's bad news. Ninetales also doing exactly the same thing. Yeah, again, we pull away. If I could have the start-finish line about here, I'd be okay. But as far down the start-finish straight as it is, it's not going to work. I get first gear. Wasn't probably my best idea. This works. We have to quite quickly shift up. It's an excellent race. Lots of changes of position for me, but I know the one bit that we need is the bit down to the start-finish line. And I know this is the one bit that I don't think I can be far enough ahead of. That's us out of the final corner, and again, Ninetales has the run. We move as far across as we can, but that Merc's too quick for us. I don't know what the car actually is that's sat behind me in 6th place. I'm not sure of the vehicle. Probably an Audi, let's be honest. We've got a lot of Audis on our team. We haven't seen many of the Audis about, so I'd presume the RS6, the RS3, maybe the S1. The RS7 was on the other team, I believe. Now we're much further back from Ninetales. We didn't have a good turn 1 here, so we're going to have to make up a lot of time through here. I think we are the best rear-wheel drive cars. Sadly, that's the only accolade we're going to get here. On, you bugger. No, not quite. Not quite, as we look for any which way we might be able to get past and try and fend off that Mercedes. The problem is now Ninetales is ahead of us, and unless there is a really big accident across this bridge, which can happen, does happen sometimes, we get a good run. It won't matter though, because the Merc's going to bugger off into the distance. The time we needed to be ahead, we were not. The time we very much needed to be ahead, and we have not been able to be in the right place at the right time, unless, well, there's Ninetales cars break down. No, couldn't. Oh, it's a fun race, but it's one of those infuriating races. In some ways, I'm glad it's over 4th and not the victory, and also kind of glad that we don't need the 4th place to win. The Mercedes just a little bit too fast down one section of circuit. The M3 good everywhere else, at least, which is nice as we head down towards the finish line. Don't think there's going to be enough time for the Merc to catch 3rd, thankfully. And there we have it. Across the line. Just couldn't fend off, couldn't find a way past, couldn't stay ahead for long enough. It would be the Golf that takes victory for Blue Team. However, in the snowy conditions, the rest of the points would fall the way of Red Team. It was the S1, that was the vehicle that was behind us. The RS6 down in 11th, but scoring 100 points, always better than nothing. Am I going to be able to beat the Mercedes? That's my new goal. Ignore the rest of it, which is trying to beat the classic Merc. So, up next we head to the Astmore Heritage Circuit. A fast, flowing track, but one that is currently covered in snow. I'm starting from the mid-pack. Ninetales is on pole. That's not good. That's probably going to bugger off. Yeah, this is an interesting circuit. Yes, the straight line speed is helpful here, but there are some quite nasty corners. I think the Merc has enough grip just about to get away with it. I might be looking at a decent finish here. It's how the rest of the thing goes, especially with this being it's a little closer to an off-road circuit, but it isn't a full off-road circuit. We'll have to see how things go. I don't know whether I just like a weird ghost punt on the S1 ahead of us. Can't decide whether we're in ghost mode or not. Are we all sort of out of ghost mode? All sorties? Maybe? I don't know. The Auto Union does look like quite the handful through all of that. I will take that position away. Now, I think this car might be on race tyres, which are better than our rally tyres on tarmac, but of course this isn't quite full tarmac, although this isn't as bad as the dirt one, so who knows really heading down here what the 911 is going to be like in terms of pace. It's having a look at the outside of another one of our many, many Audis. Oh, there's a lot of slight jittering going on with some cars here. Can we go around the outside? Maybe. Can we get the exit? Not quite. It was worth a try. It's worth a nose. A lot of our cars apparently not working around here currently. May have been missed checkpoints. I think they are still in a bunch, so there might be a chance for us. The Audi slides through turn 1 and up into the wall as I continue to hound the back of the Porsche, looking for a way through. Not going to be anything giving here, I don't think, at the moment. Not yet, at least. Oh, that lag is a little sketchy. I mean, I want to... There's a gap on the inside we will get past. My fear is we're about to come on to one of the longest straights. We might just see a car come flying back past us again. It's not as crazy a gap as it was between me and the Merc. As I said, they're not terrible top end. But, oh, it's going to have a look but can't do it. Yeah, I don't think it's quite got the grip to make that one stick. Now we do though need the well, both cars on the podium here really, if we can. Helpful if we get some places further back. It's not out of the question entirely. It's good to see. The pack's still quite bunched up, so lots of positions can and probably will change as we go through this one. Don't quite know where the 944 is going to be. Hopefully get a good run on the exit. Won't cost the 944 too much time. Need it to fall back into line and fend off that bright green turbo. Okay, we have made our way up to second. 3's working good. This track is not as favourable to all-wheel drive cars as some of the circuits that we will go to. As once you're up to speed, there's no real acceleration zones anymore. You don't have the tight corners. Maybe the final turn, the hairpin we're coming up to, kind of hairpin we're coming up to here, is the only place where all-wheel drive might help. Because once you're up to speed, it doesn't matter anymore that the traction is... I mean, traction is always important, but yeah, you're not having to try and put 300-400 horsepower down from such low speeds. Points are really, really close at the moment. We need a place to go in our favour. Just need one, or we need to get Helium back up to 11th position. It looks like an exciting battle further back, and it could well be a 7th position that decides this particular round. The Golf is actually on a little bit of a march through the pack. That's made its way up to 4th place, so we've got to watch out for that. Things have gone slightly less in our favour further back, but again, it's changing a lot. I actually really like this M3. It's one of those that I feel is a very, very solid, it's a very good all-round car, good for finishing high up and scoring decent points, but maybe not quite that insane monster that wins by, well, very large margins. It will probably work at twistier circuits. For tracks on so far, I've had at least... They've either been a little bit more straight line speed based or at least had a long straight for that Merc to excel at. The rest of the field, I think we've got beat here, barring the obvious Mercedes. Fortunately for us, certainly for me, something I can do now. We are sat here hoping. We are sat here hoping that someone can gain position. Speed Beast just gained one, has now just lost it again, as we are within 150 points, sometimes within 50. I can't do anything more than I have done. The Merc's got me beat here, even if I'd started alongside it on pole position. Can we get anything further back? I don't know. Just don't miss a checkpoint. That would very much decide this race for either team. Anyone miss a checkpoint, and just a 100-point loss is significant here. We're going to almost scrape the wall. Thankfully, this isn't the worst circuit in the world. You can miss the checkpoints, but it certainly isn't the worst for getting caught out by checkpoints. Looks like Ender is going to hold on to third, which was an important position to hold on to from that Gulf. Are we going to see any changes further on? As we cross the line, we haven't done it. No controversial finishing this time around, but as we cross the line, we haven't done it. Can anybody gain something? Not enough. Comes down to helium on this final bit, if that can get past either the Z4 or the RS7. And it won't be it. It will not be it. We needed 11th. That was all we needed. Sadly, could not quite get that. Bit of a lonely race for the latter half of that. Well fought though from Blue Team. We have to win next time out. So, up next we go from what was probably one of the fastest circuits in the game to one of the tightest, nastiest tracks. Me and Ninetales are at the back as well. I mean, that's probably good. We're not going to launch well. This is the Ambleside Scramble that is a full-on dirt circuit covered in snow. There will be little in the way of grip. There will be chances for me and Ninetales certainly to move up, of course, because we are on rally tyres. And there are some cars, yeah, so Nicholas Porsche did pretty well on that last track considering it's covered in snow, and that's very clearly not on rally tyres. I think it might be the only car not on the rally tyres. There might be a couple that aren't, but get away being all-wheel drive, possibly the RS6. But yeah, you're not on rally tyres in winter, it's going to be potentially dangerous, shall we say. Speed Beast has got the lead for Red Team. That is important. In fact, we've got 2 Red Team cars up at the front. Points-wise, we're looking quite good. I know we are going to struggle to keep up with the all-wheel drive machines. I do know Ninetales is not likely to like this circuit. There is no straights for the Merc to excel at, and it's all corners for me to be pretty fast through. The Auto Union, I would then presume, is all-wheel drive swapped if it's able to keep pace with the Audis around here. I would not expect it to be able to unless that is the case. One of Blue Team's vehicles has... Oh no, one of Red Team's vehicles, sorry, has missed a checkpoint. No, it was Blue Team. His names are changing so fast, I can't read them. We've got our Porsche up to third, which is nice. Oh, still a little bit of lag going on through all of that, which isn't particularly fun. I think I've maybe lost a little time, but nothing terrible. We haven't quite got to the trying to find a way past bit on the Auto Union next. I mean, in fact, Red Team are absolutely loving life around here. This was the track that we needed, apparently. Give us a technical dirt circuit, and that is where Red Team come good. We've got the RS6... Oh, one of our cars missed a checkpoint. No, we had first to fifth. And we threw it away. Oh, that was a little bounce across the inside, a little more bounce across the inside than I wanted. So there goes that all-wheel drive traction from the... I know it's weird saying that with an Auto Union, but it is the case in Forza. Many weird things happen. Many weird things indeed. We're around the outside and we are going to stay ahead. I've just got to watch, because that will get a good run off of the corner. And yeah, we don't want to give away a position unnecessarily. I'd expect the S1 to work its way possibly back up some of the leaderboard. I missed that. I thought I dinked it with my rear wing. We're doing our very best to find a way. Oh, and Ender also missed it. We're doing our best to throw away what was an incredibly strong position for Red Team. I just thought I dinked it with my wing. I thought we were fine going through that. And of course, 2 of us managed to screw that up entirely. Still enough points for us. I don't think Speed Beast and Sabre are going to get caught at the front. Ammon's Golf is probably the best of the Blue Team cars for giving chase. See, I felt like I missed that one as much as I missed the other. Well, silly driving by me. You shouldn't, when you've got that bigger a gap, you shouldn't be taking those sort of risks. What can we do? It, by the looks of it, won't affect us too adversely. I mean, the car is good, can't complain. about the M3. I knew this was always going to be a tougher circuit for rear-wheel drive in general. But of the rear-wheel drive cars, mine is probably the best working. Yeah, this is Porsche on the race tyres. It's not having a good time. It will be very quick at the final circuit, and that would be somewhere we might have to worry about that Porsche. It is going to be very, very quick at the final track. Ah well, silly errors from two of us cost us a chunk of points, but it won't matter. In the long run, we will still take victory at the Ambleside circuit. Yeah, the 718 takes the win from the RS3. Golf is in third ahead of the Auto Union, gets a fourth. The Merc in fifth, followed by the Porsche and my M3 that both went a little bit exploring. We get the win. We needed the win. It ties us up in the overall standings. The final round shall be the decider. And there'll be minimal snow as well. So, here we go. The deciding round comes to the Prince's Street Gardens circuit. There is a straight for the Mercedes. There is fiddly bits for me. There's no snow for the 911 Turbo. Well, no snow unless you go offline. And you go offline, you go onto the footpaths and so on, you might be in a little bit of trouble. I have a nice starting position here. Front row for red team, whether it be pole or not. It isn't pole, but still front row. Now, I won't launch quite as quick as some of these around me, as the Golf or as the S1, but we still get going fairly nicely. I don't know what the Golf handles like outside of the snowy area. You know the all-wheel drive is good out in the snowy areas. We saw it took a, we'd say resounding victory, take a good victory at one of those scramble circuits. Porsche looks pretty fast, that's for sure, though we'd expect it to be through here. Still got this slight jittery lag problems going on. It's a mild concern. Yeah, slightly disconcerting with that one. Oh, the Golf's probably not going to handle quite as well through these turns. The Porsche is very good handling. Does it want to go side by side through there? It does, but couldn't quite pull it off. There is a bike lagging around. I don't know, because there's a lot of cars jittering. I have a horrible feeling it might be me that's slightly lagging for everyone else. So I do apologise if that is the case. We really need to get up to that Golf. Points-wise, it's really close. It might come down to, can I defend? Although I lost the back end going up there, and that's put me in a world of trouble. I mean, we can get to the mid-corner is where we have a lot of speed there. Unfortunately, this time around, we aren't far enough alongside to be past that 911. It's going to ping itself back ahead of us. We need more points further back. I feel like I might slightly have a car to beat the Golf, but we're so far back from the Golf that, oh, and that might kill one or both of us. It's very hard to tell. We're going to have a go at the inside of the 911. We will take second position again. But this is helping the Volkswagen, and here comes the bright green Porsche. It has a straight line speed over me. Ambitious around the outside at turn 1. That is for sure there. Don't lose the back end. See, the Porsche can't be aggressive up this section. That's the one little advantage I have. The 911 cannot be as aggressive across the footpaths. It knows those tyres will have no grip if it does. We've got... The Speed Beast was around with the 718. We've got some okay mid-pack points. It's just not quite enough for our team. We need some more cars up here. We are now starting to catch the Golf again. Oh, it's going to go down to the wire. I'd love to be able to have some rear gunner red team cars somewhere in this to help us. Because, well, we're in ghosty Porsche mode. The Golf's been slow out of the final corner. We're going to go 3 wide towards turn 1. No one's quite sure where any of the cars are either as we head through the first corner. That puts me back up to the lead briefly. It's lagging all over the place. We're still 3 wide up the hill. Porsche's on the inside. I'm on the snow. We lose the back end through all of that. It's really, really close in points. Can I make a move stick? Around the outside of the 911 is going to be tough. We dodged the other side of the street furniture. We know that screws up a run if you hit it. I think it comes down to me versus the 911 Turbo. If I can pass it, we win. If the 911 Turbo fends me off for the remainder of this race, unless something else changes, of course it can change, even if I pass the Turbo, if something else changes further back for blue team, they will win. Ah, the fence killed all of my speed there. Ah, we're a little further back than I want to be. The Golf is still in this, let's not forget. The Golf is still there to cause some potential trouble if I slip up. If either of us slip up, the Golf could get the pair of us. Can we do anything? We need to be absolutely perfect. No slipping, no sliding around. It's good for the M3. Problem is, it was good for the leader as well. No oversteer, BMW. Thank you. It's a very good run out of the hairpin. It's that full pressure time. Can we do anything, though? Where do we find a pass? The final corner? Maybe. It'll be difficult, though, especially with the slight bit of the jitters going on. We're quick into there. The Porsche is slipping and sliding, and I got the wrong gear coming out of all of that. I cannot find a way. We've got so much speed in these turns. I don't quite know where the 911 is. We jump across the inside. I think it might still beat us to the line. It's not quite going to do it. The game might give it. It doesn't for this time around. Oh, is it going to finish like that? I don't know. It might. Not quite. I think we might get 11th in the end. It might have gone our way. Actually, it might be... I don't know. It was either way around, whether we'd got it on the last corner or not. We got 11th as well. The RS6 beating the RS7. Whew. That was a tough race. That was a tough race. Not helped by the jittery lag. As I said, it was my end. I do apologise. If it's Forza being Forza, I can't do much about it. Very difficult to judge where the vehicles were at times, which makes overtaking a bit dicey. Whew. Well done. Well done, BMW. Well done, M3. Oh. There we go. I think I can relax now. That is going to... Well, it's going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. If you'd like to take part in the next one of these team adventures, you can sign up via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. Find the FailRace versus the community section, and you can sign up in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Until next time, goodbye.